What up, world? It's your boy Trees Trim signing on, screaming, go get the money. Welcome back to the Hot Seat Podcast, man. Today we switching things up. We took a trip up to Long Beach, California to meet up with the incredible Chef Matt 2.0. This dude is not only a celebrity chef, but also specializes in cannabis infused meals. So we had a great conversation with him in his kitchen style studio, And on the way up, we got to stop at Breakout LA, which is a real dope sneaker spot. If you're ever in Long Beach, go check it out. I also had the pleasure of stopping at Louisiana Charlie's, which is a dope Creole style spot. Got some catfish and shrimp over there. And then shout out to Wrigley Clothing Company as well, another brand that we were able to support while we were in town. With that being said, man, stay tuned for this episode. I'm excited and I hope you enjoy it. Boy Trees Trump signing on, screaming, go get the money. I hope we all off to a positive and productive start today. We're in the building in Long Beach, California, man, with the illustrious guest, Chef Matt.
What's happening?
Founder of CB Daily Eats.
Yeah.
Founder of Ganja Eats.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit of his repertoire, but thank you, man. Thank you for having us, brother.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. The first thing I want to ask is, who are you, man? Give us a little bit about your background and who you are as a person, man. Let's get into that first.
First and foremost, I'm a father of an amazing son. 22, go-getter, chef, entrepreneur. I just like to consider myself like a well-rounded person, if you know what I mean.
Renaissance, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Cool. So talk to us about when you kind of developed this passion for cooking, man.
Man, I always knew I wanted to be two things in life, either a coroner or a chef. And growing up, I didn't see many black chefs. Mm-hmm. So I kind of thought it was reserved for, other people. And then in high school, my counselor told me I could never be a coroner. And I realized later that, I liked science and, I liked how a coroner could find the body and tell you what happened to it. And then I later realized that, same thing, cooking is science. So you're taking something and transforming it to something else. So I guess it was just the science behind it, and that's kind of how I got into the product game and, cooking with cannabis, because the science behind it.
Right. So when you first started cooking, you immediately were using cannabis?
No.
Or the cooking started first?
The passion for cooking started, my dad was an entrepreneur, so, he got up at, he was gone at 6 a.m., and didn't come home till like 9 p.m. My mom had a full-time job, so it was a lot of like cooking and fending for ourselves, you know what I mean? Always make sure we had groceries.
Right, you just got to figure out how to whip it up. That was the science.
Right.
Okay.
And, and then I think it was about 1994, one of my buddies was having a pool party, and my uncle was a grower, and I used to watch him put cannabis and rubbing alcohol. They used to work out. Okay. And then I remember one time we were camping, and he made some rabbit, and he threw some bud in a barbecue sauce and let it simmer, and that's what they had.
Oh.
So one day I had a trash bag full. And this is the stress days before the chronic
right.
And having a pool party, we cooking barbecue, and I threw some weed in the barbecue, and nobody thought it would work. And this was on a Saturday night, everybody was asleep. and got to school on Monday. It was the talk of the town, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And I think I was like a junior in high school when I did that.
So that was your first time experimenting with cooking with it?
Cooking with it, yeah.
Because that was my next question.
Yeah.
crazy. So you just threw it right in.
Just threw it right in, didn't decarb it, none of that shit, all the shit they said you had to do then. But it worked because, you know, and I'm talking about to the point where it's like, didn't even strain it. Talking about we took the stress when they used to come in bricks.
Right.
The black seeds in it.
Yeah.
You have to peel it apart. And, you know what I'm saying? We threw it in there, threw some, you know, I had some leaves and shit. We threw it in there, let it simmer for about 30 minutes, and then nobody felt nothing until about 2 or 3 hours later. Party turned down. You know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So as far as cooking and also infusing the meals, like when did that go from like just a passion or a hobby to a full-on career for you?
I mean, like fresh after high school, I went to college and opened up a restaurant. I took my refund check, you know, when everybody was doing everything, and my dad had a building and this guy had a restaurant there. But I knew he was behind on his rent, so I told him, my dad told me to lock it up and take the keys and you gotta leave everything in it. He did. I took my little $4,000-$5,000 refund check and went and bought groceries and reopened that motherfucker up under a new name. And, you know, at 21, that, you know, I think I was like 20. That was like my first, you know, start, if you know what I mean. And I just got in there and just did it how I could do it. You know, it's funny today when I run into friends from college, they say, man, we probably would have starved to death if you didn't have that restaurant. Because my thing was, we all here together, we gonna eat. If you can pay me. But I ain't finna let nobody go hungry. Right. So pay what you can, run the tab, or
give me back when you can.
Help wash some dishes or do something.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
And it's good to know when I run into people, they be like, man, I can't repay you enough for what you did, you know, helping me get through my college days. And that's good enough for me, you dig? You know?
So with cooking, because a lot of people say, you know, that is the joy in cooking when you actually get to feed people and see them enjoy it and everything. So that's a big, that's gratifying for you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. You know, people ask me often most, like, what do I enjoy cooking the most? And my response is, it doesn't matter what I'm cooking. I just love the art of cooking. Like, I don't have one specific dish that I prefer to make over other, because I'm always trying to expand and be better than what I was. And cooking, once you master a dish, you move on to the next one.
Right,
and if you just got one dish, you're a one-trick pony.
Right,
you know?
Right, that's very true. So, cannabis, has that always been a part of your life, or, you know, like, is that a part of your lifestyle, like, always been, like, smoking, or infusing foods, or?
So, man, from as far, like I said, I grew up with my uncle as a grower, you know, when it was time to turn dirt or do something, you know, was always go do this. So, and I was very intrigued by it, so, you know, it was normalized to me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of like it, more or less how it is today.
Right.
It seems a lot more normal back then. Not so much socially acceptable.
Yeah, it was.
For you growing up, it was.
I mean, I walked around with a backpack full of weed, 9th grade on, because selling nickel bags. You know what I'm saying? 3 for 10. You know, 3 for 10. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So, you know.
So, talk to me a little bit about the live rosin infused tinctures. Did I say that right? Is it resin or is it rosin?
This is resin, you know, however you pronounce it.
I'm gonna say rosin. I'm fancy with that.
Right. So they're called tinctures, but what you're referring to is the ketchup, the coffee creamer, and the hot sauce.
Right.
I use live rosin in those products only because, so one thing you learn about me is I'm anti-distillate. I don't feel like distillate should be, you know, ingested. I feel like when everybody has a horrible edible story, you know, it's usually because they ate distillate or they ate something that had too much cannabis in it. And so all my products have like pure plant in it, like the old school way. We take the cannabis and seep it in there, and we got big proprietary crock pots, you know, with blenders in them and stuff like that. And so 9 times out of 10, I'm using flour, I'm using live rosin. And if you look up live rosin, that's kind of like cannabis. It's kind of like taking a nug and squeezing it.
Right.
Shit. So it hasn't been processed. It's not ran through a machine, no CO2, none of that stuff. It's just pure plant. You're getting the terpene profiles, all the wellness, everything that comes along with it. When you using, you know, live rosin or plant or powered by plant.
So that means that your process is a lot more natural, basically.
Way
more natural. Okay.
So I tell people it's like ingesting distillate is like somebody punching you in the chest. Like once your stomach and liver starts processing it, it's gonna hit you full speed like a Mack truck. But when you use flower or live rosin, it's more like an escalator. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then you level off
Slowly, okay.
Yeah, there's no crash. You don't wake up with a hangover. You're not groggy. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to find your magic number, what you can ingest, and it's just a cool, mellow, chill. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You know, one thing I do love about what you're doing is a lot of times when you think of edibles, a lot of people think of brownies, Rice Krispie treats, whatever the case may be. But you're creating it to where you can really incorporate this in any meal. So kind of tell us, educate the people on that, because it's as simple as a drop here, a drop there, with whatever meal and some of the benefits of that.
So I look at it like more as a lifestyle, and you know, to me, it's an alternative way to consume cannabis. You know what I'm saying? I say we're way past brownies and Rice Krispie treats. You know, right now with the products that I have, you can have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You know, or even make your own edibles. Why pay $20 for one edible when you could buy, you know, a bottle of olive oil or sugar or anything, and go home and make tenfold? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I make my products for at-home cooks, other professionals that, you know, want to get into the game but want to take away having to make the shit. You know, half the chefs, so-called cannabis chefs, you know, they're making their products and they're not lab tested. You know, they're guessing the milligrams. And, you know, we're just trying to take the guessing out of it. You know, why even take the chance of hurting somebody when you can just go buy it and make it? And you know what you're giving people, and that's the main thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. With this stuff being lab tested, and then you also being able to use it in a micro dosing kind of fashion, as opposed to, like you said, the guessing game. That's what creates some of those bad experiences in cannabis.
Most of my time is convincing people that they're not going to get fucked up or too high.
Right.
Because, you know, people are generally scared of edibles, but that's just because it's been used irresponsible. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, you just never know what you're gonna get if those levels aren't accurate. 100%. They're like, oh, this is 10 milligrams, and you're like, nah, that was like 10,000 milligrams. I've been asleep for 3 days, man. What you talking about?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's cool.
People run up to me and say, Chef Matt, try my edible. I say, okay. When soon they walk away, I chunk it.
Oh,
He like, you won't do it. Like, I'm not eating that shit.
Right. I feel it.
I'm not eating that shit.
Okay, so one thing I do think that's cool about your chef style is there's no one particular thing that you're doing. When you cook, you're cooking alligator. You cooking, you know, those dumplings that you made look really good. I seen those on your page. I seen you do some Creole shrimp, some lamb. So talk to us about that. Is that one of your things, the exotic meats? Like, you specialize in that or what?
Yeah, I'm really into like exotic meats, and you know, man, I feel like it's always about challenging yourself, and you know, people don't like exotic meats because most of the time people haven't even tried them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've done a lot, you know, in a regular market. And, you know, when I get a chance, I always want to do something I've never done before. So that's like where the exotic meats and stuff like that come from. It's just challenging myself and making it taste good enough for somebody to eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, man. So, I mean, I follow you on Instagram, Chef Matt 2.0. If you're not following him, go ahead and do that. Let's support what he's doing. So you do some hunting and stuff as well, though, because I see your stories, man, and you like out here with these animals, man. And so let's talk about that a little bit.
So I go hunting,
okay,
but I'm not all about the kill, if you know what I mean. Like I'll go hunting, you know, with the fellas, and you know they'll do all the shooting and all that, you know. But I'm more about like, you know, once it's shot, you know, I skin it and break it down and butcher it and all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily get a thrill
Out of the actual shot.
Out of the actual shot, you know. And there are guys, the guys I'm with are way better shot than me.
Right.
So go ahead and take that shot, and then I'll break it on because they don't like to do the shit I like to do.
Wow, and that's crazy. So they'll shoot it, but then it come to skinning it, they're like, oh my god, I can't.
Well, not oh my god, they'll do it. Well, a lot of times they'll take it to the processor.
Oh, okay.
And with me, it's like we go hunting we kill 2 animals. One might go to the processor, and one we gonna bring back, and I'm gonna break down.
Up close and personal.
Up close and personal. I just get to me, it's a challenge taking a whole animal or whatever.
That goes back to science too.
It goes back to science
and how it works and how it breaks down.
And it's just evolution. How we used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't go to the market and buy it.
Right.
So to me, it's a lost art. And it's something I try to tell other chefs, like you really should know how to break down an animal of any kind. Once it got 4 legs, the anatomy of it is really the same.
Yeah.
And it's just something I enjoy doing.
We might have to bring him on episode 2, man. We might have to do a hunting episode where we gonna kill and cook, man. We gonna kill something and cook it, man.
That's how you do it.
So through working in the culinary industry, and not only with that, but the cannabis industry, and those two intertwining, because those are 2 big industries individually, but together, it's amazing. Yeah. Talk to us about some of the people that you were able to meet just through your ability to cook and your passion for marijuana. We won't even say marijuana. We're going to say cannabis, so edit that out. Marijuana is a fake word. That doesn't even exist. Right. Actually leave that so people be educated. Marijuana is not real, but we're talking about cannabis right now. So talk about
I'll say first and foremost, the difference, I'm actually like a real chef, certified, ran multi-million-dollar restaurants. Cooking has took me, around the world. And, people say, you're a cannabis chef or whatever, and I'll stop them. And I don't believe in the word cannabis chef because I feel like at the point you call yourself a cannabis chef, you don't have a real resume. It ain't been around long enough.
So did I say it right? Because I tried to break them down. I said, you a chef.
I like to tell people I'm a chef that cooks with cannabis.
Exactly.
And CBD. So usually when I do stuff, or they say you're a cannabis chef, I'll say I'm not. Other people want to call themselves cannabis chef. By all means, I'll do that, but that's not a title I want to give myself. I'm a chef, and when I use cannabis or whatever, it's just an extra ingredient. So, because at the point you call your cannabis chef, I just personally don't like the term. If other people want to use it or dub themselves that, that's fine. But
sometimes I can kind of put you in a box, though.
And
I can respect what you're doing because there's, like you said, even at certain events, if there's cannabis involved, you still have that other option.
Yeah.
But before we get into those events, man, let's talk about some of the people you met, man. Because I've been stalking your page a little bit. Right. I've seen some pretty cool people, and I just kind of want to know how you connected with them.
It's always organic and genuine. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people that I work with that. I never ask for pictures. A lot of my clients, I sign NDAs, and they're like, we didn't ask you for NDA, but it's like I need people to know that when I'm in your house or I'm around you, I'm not sneaking, taking pictures or none of that stuff. So. Who I've cooked for, man, honestly, it's more who I haven't cooked for, if you know what I mean. And, unless they posted first, I ain't really posting it. I don't really need no pictures because the picture is in my mind that I did it and I accomplished it.
You had the experience.
I don't really need a picture, and I don't need nobody rocking with me because I cook for somebody. If you ain't rocking with me for my situation,
right?
I don't need you, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what really kind of got me even to see some of those people because they're not really high up on your page. Yeah. So I'm going through these events that you've been a part of, and I'm seeing like these different footage and the growth of everything, which like those peach cobbler gummy rings or whatever, man. I don't know if those are still available, but I was like, yo, man, I might need some of those.
Most definitely.
But I was kind of just going through, and then as I went further and down, I just started to start seeing people, and I thought that was real cool because it's just like once you master something, it opens up doors for you, and obviously that's been one of those things for you as a chef to, it's kind of open up doors.
Yeah, I think people
gain those experiences.
I think people want to race to the top, and people got to realize, like, if you just do what's for you, what's meant to you, is going to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people want instant gratification, or they think that getting a picture with somebody or working with somebody is going to instantly change your life or your business. I have to tell people it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you add it to your resume or whatever, but after all the people I walk with, nobody's made a bigger impact in my career than me, myself. So when you sell your soul to work with somebody, you're really selling yourself short, and you're cheating yourself of your journey. You get what I'm saying? Like, your first time, catering gig, you luck up and get a big celebrity. Well, now you got to keep that up. You know what I'm saying? And most celebrities don't want to pay. I'll tell you that right now. Most celebrities,
they get so many things complimentary. They're like, oh, I had to pay for this?
Yeah, and I'm like, how am I supposed to pay my staff and my bills with this? So, a lot of times when they call us, I appreciate the offer, but I'm going to have to pass.
Right. Respectfully decline.
Respectfully decline.
I ain't mad at you, man, because if you ain't gonna pay the money, man, things start getting real funny when that money ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
I can't send the electricity company our picture.
Right. They ain't buying that.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
It was like, I ain't got your money, but I do have this cool picture with Shaq.
Right.
Check this out. Like, nah, that ain't it, man. Okay, so let's talk about some of the events you've been a part of, man. I know you've done some stuff with WeedCon.
WeedCon is one of my favorite events. Hall of Flowers last week was good. There's too many to name. I've probably...
what is it? The Cannabis chain of commerce.
Yeah,
you did something for them as well.
That was supposed to be last month. They had to postpone it due to LA County with some new COVID rules and people being in the same place. But I'm the head chef or premier chef, for that award show. So, the 200 people and celebrities and the influencers and people that sit on the floor, I feed, I'm in charge of the sit down dinner. And that's just, just by me just having a good reputation, doing good business. Shit will fall in your lap again. I didn't have to go scream for it when they called me. I told them my number, and I told them this, and they said we're gonna talk to other people, and I said, well, these are some of the things you should consider. And they called me back and said, we got to go with you, man, because you raised a lot of shit that nobody said. And I'm like, so again, man, if it's meant for you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're gonna get
your podcast, man. It's like you can chase down a bunch of people, but if you keep your head down, just keep doing what you're doing, it's gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, don't be in a rush to be in people inboxes and trying to beg them to do your show.
Right.
I tell people it's kind of like horses. They wear racing blinders. I don't know if next time you.
Del Mar races. I go to Del Mar races. I know those blinders. Yeah.
They got blinders because with horses, if they look, they'll trip. And so I like to tell people, I got my racing goggles on. I'm looking forward. I can't afford to worry about what the next person or next company is doing because I'm running my own race. I'm looking forward. I don't care what nobody else is doing. I'm just focused on the shit that I have to do. And if it's for me, it's for me. If it's not, it's not. And I think too many times they're worried about what everybody else is doing and they tripping.
That's real. So, word from the wise, word from Chef Matt, he said, put the blinders on. Stay focused on what you're doing, man. That's the goal. Any other time, anything else, you're tripping. Literally, you're tripping. So talk to us about Holland Farms. What's your connection with them? I've seen that a lot on your page.
So, same thing. Going back to the college days, me and Titus, we all, and his brother, we all went to college together in Oklahoma at Langston University.
Okay.
And, we went to college together, they came back to California and I came back to California and we didn't run into each other for years upon years and ran into him again and reconnected. What you up to? I'm in the game. I'm in the cannabis business too. What you do. And bam, so it's just like 360 full circle. And those brothers at Holland Farms are the only black owned, dispensary
Right.
In Palm Springs and on the main street. You know what I'm saying?
And that's tough. Palm Springs, black owned, and on the main strip.
And one of the most beautiful dispensaries I've seen. It's clean, it's chic, and it's just a beautiful spot. Customer service was top notch. They rolled out the red carpet for me, man, and it was just like all love. And so it was good to see us go from college days to full circle now. They got a successful dispensary. And, I'm successful with what I'm doing. And we're able to
now you're able to connect. Wow, that's full circle. That's super dope, man. So if you're ever in Palm Springs, man, tap in with Highland Farms, man. It sounds like a great experience if you're looking for some cannabis in that area, or I'm pretty sure some of these products and whatever else you're looking for, man. So that's super dope, man. What would you say is I want to kind of, man, this hunting thing is I'm still thinking about it. So what is like one of the rarest things that you cooked and prepared, and like maybe it was a challenge, because I mean a lot of those rare meats, they kind of like gamey, or they have like different stigmas to them that people say, oh, you can't eat that, or it just tastes like chicken. So tell me something, what's the rarest thing you made taste good, man?
I mean, almost everything does taste like chicken.
It does, huh? Okay, that's a real thing.
But, chicken or beef, let me see. I've fried rattlesnake. I've cooked possum. I've cooked horse meat. Oh, man. I think I got ostrich in the freezer. Like you say, alligator. Coyote meat.
Yo,
anything.
I gotta try them alligator nuggets or whatever them things. You deep fry them, right? I gotta try those.
When you see, I did them 3 ways.
Right.
I deep fried some.
Mm-hmm.
I did some blackened, and then I kind of made like I called it alligator gravy, but I made a roux, so you can almost call it a alligator gumbo. And I just had so much of it, and I was like, well, I could do it all one way, but everybody don't like fried. So then I took some and I seasoned it with a blackened season. Then I just did it in a cast iron skillet. Then I had some more, and I said, let me do something else. And I was like, I had some roux left over from doing crawfish etouffee.
Oh man, I seen that too.
So I was like, man, you know what? Let me just do it. So sometimes, man, I just like to try shit. And my thing is, if it don't work out, I learned that why it didn't work out, or it was great, but then I was like, okay, I know what I can add to it next time to take it over. So I'm just again.
So there ain't no L's. It's just a lesson. You learn.
Yeah,
right.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I
like that, man. So big shout out to Chef Matt. He ain't no name dropper. I asked him about all these people that, I seen him on his page. I'm just saying. But I like that, man, because it just shows, for one, you're a very humble dude. For two, you stand behind what you're doing. A lot of people, like you said, now, like people with clothing lines, they're like, oh, if I could just get my shirt on this celebrity, or if I can get this celebrity to promote it, I'm on my way to the next level. And that's not necessarily true.
Not to say it doesn't happen.
It does happen,
but
not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
And you'd rather be betting on yourself than anyone else.
You want longevity, and that's not longevity. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. So, let's talk about some of the newer products that you got coming up, or some of the next events or things you're gonna be a part of, man. What's going on there?
Here, man, it's so much stuff, man. Best way to do is check my website, chefmattcooks.com, and it'll tell you where I'm gonna be, and schedule. And as far as products, I got this, cannabis infused olive oil. There's 3 versions of that. There's a THC one, there's a CBD one, and there's a CBD and Cbg infused one. I got a couple ghees, vegan ghees, vegan butters. I got that cannabis, I got that in CBD, and I got that in CBD and Cbg too.
Okay.
And if people aren't familiar with Cbg, it's just another cannabinoid that has a lot of benefits to it, you know what I'm saying?
For the body.
For the body, stuff like that. Got a sugar right here. I did a collaboration with Shuggies. This is a cannabis infused sugar. So you can make Kool-Aid, lemonade, iced tea, bake your cakes or whatever. You know, with
cornbread. I throw a little sugar in my cornbread. I don't know about y'all. I like a little sugar in my cornbread.
Anything you can use sugar for, this is doable. And again, you know, it has
cereal. You
cereal.
sprinkle a little sugar on your cornflakes.
You see, it has the testing, the batch dates, how many milligrams it is per scoop, and all that stuff on it.
And that goes back to the safeness about your product.
You know what it is.
Right. You know what you're getting.
Yeah. And the state has checked it to say that it is what they say it is.
Right. Which is the new laws and regulations. So.
And then this one is a stevia, which is like a artificial sweetener, kind of like, you know, Sweet and Low or stuff like that. So we got a cannabis infused stevia for that, for people who can't really ingest a lot of sugar, and for my older demographics, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know,
that's so smart.
Yeah. And then this is just this is another ghee, but this one is a CBD and CBG one.
Okay, now when you say ghee, you say it's kind of like a butter,
so ghee is kind of like a butter, a clarified butter. Mm-hmm. But you know, this one is you know, I made one that was vegan. So you smell that, you smell real plant.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm
saying? You can
smells
see
it smells real natural.
You know.
Yeah.
So you know, just
you slap a little bit of this on some toast or something, you good to go.
Toast, cook your eggs with it.
Wow.
Add something to your gravy or to your sauces and, you know, shit like that. And just, you know, works out. And then this one here is a tincture, but this is basically the same as the olive oil. If you wanted to just take it in your, you know, put it in your mouth or drop it in something, or if you're traveling and you're at a restaurant and you want cannabis in it, you can take it and just
drip it right in your food.
Drip it right in your food. You know. And then aside from that, like I said, the ketchup, the hot sauce, and the coffee creamer is launching like mid-February. We're just waiting on the packaging to come from overseas.
Okay. Yeah, so I did see those coming out.
Yeah, so you know, we're gonna have a full pantry, you know, of products. You know, I'm launching a brownie mix. You know, it's already, the cannabis is already, you just add your egg or whatever.
Right.
I got a cake mix.
So like you said, this goes back to the, you know, this is for the people.
This is for the people.
Right. Because instead of you walking in and buying a brownie for $20, you get this brownie mix and you can go ahead and whip up 10 brownies.
Correct.
And then you can have those. It's cost efficient. And still works as great.
Yeah, still works as great. And then
it's say not like better.
And then just say like, if you don't wanna make them all, you know, I have it to where you can make individual ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of stuff, man. This, you know, my goal, man, is just to constantly keep trying to push the edible game as far as it can be pushed. You know what I'm saying? And by no way do I want to make it seem like I'm the only person.
No.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah.
But you know, my goal is just to keep pushing the game as far as I can push it, and then somebody will come along and take it to higher heights. You know, like how
inspired by you, and then start putting a twist on it and keep on going.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
So, you know.
So when it comes to being a chef, man, I know you seem extremely busy, man. What are all the services that you actually provide? I mean, you do catering?
Yeah, but it's like getting real hard to cater now just because, you know, my time and pushing these brands, and, you know. So one of the misconceptions is that, you know, I'm only a chef. You know, I'm an instructor, you know, real estate investments. You know, I have so much other stuff that I do. So you may see Chef Matt, but the man behind Chef Matt is, I wear many hats, you know what I'm saying? I'm a father, you know, I got real estate over here, I got manufacturing licenses, distro licenses, delivery licenses, consulting. I just have so much going on. So sometimes it isn't sufficient or efficient for me to cater. But I still will have Chef Matt catering, but it's almost like you won't see Chef Matt every time you get Chef Matt catering. Just like you get Wolfgang Puck catering or Gordon Ramsay catering.
You're not going to see Gordon every time.
You're going to pay a premium.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
The quality of the food and everything will still be there, but you're just not going to see the man.
Right.
And I guess that's how business works, especially when it grows. You can't be in so many places at once.
And that's what people have to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I always like to start off by asking who you are, because, you know, I have a title, you know, that's what I know about you.
Right.
But there's always so many different layers to every guest that we've had on this show.
Well, definitely.
And I never want to just say, oh, he's a chef and that's all we're going to talk about is food.
Right.
It's so much more. So I think that's super dope that you do have your hands in real estate and kind of like all the different avenues that kind of work well with this, the delivery stuff, different licensing and stuff like that. So that's dope, man. That's super dope. All right, man. So today, man, tell us about what you gonna whip us up a little something quick on the, you know what I mean? Let's talk about that today, man.
So, you know, I'm thinking about a little goat fried rice.
Okay.
You know, I got some goat, and you know, I had it slow cooking overnight.
Okay.
So, you know, I think we can whip up a nice little goat fried rice. You know, maybe with a sunny side egg on top or something.
Yes,
you know
sir. I'm excited about that, man.
You ever had goat before?
I had curry goat.
Okay.
I had curry goat before, but you know, I'm open, man. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
So, all right, stay tuned, man. We're gonna get into that part. So we back at it, man. Chef Matt whipped us up. What do we say? This is
some goat fried rice.
goat fried rice with an egg on top.
I mean, you can call it a fried. You know, every cuisine has their version. You know, fried rice or you know nasi goreng or whatever you call. But you know, most commonly fried rice. But this is kind of more like a jambalaya or dirty rice too, if you know what I mean. So you know, whatever you want to call it. You know.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna call it good.
You call it good, yeah, well. Check it out.
So while we're doing this, I got a little thing I want to incorporate in the show.
Good.
A little rapid fire session.
All right.
Just got a couple unanswered questions for you. What's that right there?
This is a little sauce that I like to make. Soy sauce, vinegar, fresh peppers, onions, garlic. I'm just giving it a drizzle. Kind of spicy.
Yeah, we need to try that. Thank you, kind. First question though, indicas or sativas?
Hybrids. Yeah.
Okay, I like that answer. Gas grill or charcoal?
Charcoal.
Okay. Catfish or red snapper?
Depends on the day.
And what was that day? What do you mean by that?
I mean, sometimes I like, a catfish nugget, deep fried, kind of crispy. And then, sometimes I like a thick cut of, fried red snapper that's really flaky and moist. So it kind of just, depends.
Depends on what you want that day.
Depends on what I, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Smoke it or eat it?
Eat it.
Okay. Give us a little feedback about why.
I think it's a different high. I think it's more of a body high, more relaxing, not so much as a head high.
Okay.
Got you.
And there's more benefits to the body and everything, right? Or do you say you get both benefits?
I mean, I think it's both benefits. I just think that, everybody has their personal preference. I know a lot of people that smoke it that won't eat it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know people that eat it that won't smoke it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
9 times out of 10, I'm going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? If I happen to be somewhere and, I can't consume it, then I may hit something. But I don't like to be super high. You know what I'm saying? I like to be high enough. 3 or 4 hits off a J or a blunt, I'm good, because I still want to be able to function, you know, maneuver, you know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay. Preparing or serving?
Preparing.
And why?
I guess it's a process of going through the motions and stuff, preparing it for people, and then watching them enjoy it, you know? Nothing better than serving a dish and sitting back and watching that person enjoy it. Like, I usually watch the person's first bite and their reaction to the food. You can tell a lot.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's the gratifying part.
Most definitely.
You know you just gave me both answers, right? I said preparing and serving. He said preparing.
But I want to circle back to your first question. When you act indica or sativa, I think the game is getting to the point where it's like people think they like sativas or indicas, but what they really should be looking at is that the terpene profile in that strain. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So people think they like sativas, but all sativas aren't equal. All indicas aren't equal. You know what I'm saying? Different strains have different terpene profiles. And that's what's going to give you the medical benefit. Like if it's stress, well, all indica strains don't have a terpene that has, you know, for anxiety. So I think as people start looking more at their ailments or what they need the weed to cure or cope with, they'll start looking at the strain and see what terpene profile that strain has. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. So that's when you're making more of an educated decision.
Right.
When you're walking into the dispensary.
Right. Well,
and you're not just picking it for, oh, this is the newest this,
right,
or I
right.
like this name.
Right.
You're picking it for the actual benefits that are suitable for you.
Right. Well, that's why I say hybrid, because a hybrid is a cross between an indica and a sativa that's kind of been merged together.
Right.
You get, you know, qualities of both sides, but, you know, like one of my favorite strains is, you know, the Jack Herrera strand, you know what I'm saying?
Jack Herrera, yeah.
Because, you know, it just has so many healing benefits, you know, when I gotta get in camera, I gotta be around a bunch of people, a little bit of anxiety kicks in. I can hit it and it relaxes with that, you know what I'm saying? After being on my feet for 12, 15 hours a day at an expo or cooking, my feet hurt, you know, so I found that strand works best for me, you know what I'm saying? And so I look at terpene profiles before I look at the name, the indica or sativa or whatever. I look at the terpene profile.
That's dope. I never did that. I always just like, let me get the best OG you got.
Yeah, no, you can't do that because the best, the higher the THC content ain't always the best. You get what I'm saying? Now,
right.
You know, they're hitting some crazy numbers now, but you should be looking at the terpene profiles and what does that strand offer, and you know, versus just the highest strain. You know, the
THC percentage.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, with that being said, man, that's all my questions for rapid fire. You did pretty well, though, man.
I appreciate
You're the first person I did that with. At this point, I want to make sure that anybody that's listening in, or anybody that views this episode, can stay in contact with you. So let them know your information, man, where they can find you at, where they can purchase some of these great products.
On IG is Chef Matt 2.0. On Facebook is Chef Matt Cooks. I got a Ganja Eats page. We just launched on Facebook. So Q&A, questions, recipes, all that. Go to groups and search for Ganja Eats. It's a brand new page. So it's not a lot of people there. Maybe like the first 100 people that come into the room and become members. Got a bunch of great stuff for. And then the website is Chef Matt Cooks. You'll be able to buy the hemp-based products off the website, but the THC and the CBD derived from cannabis have to be bought in dispensaries or delivery services.
Okay.
You know, but you can order my Chef Matt regular products and hemp-based products online, but everything else is dispensary.
Okay. Is there a couple of dispensaries you want to shout out while we're talking about that?
Yeah, we can shout out Holland Farms. We'll be in Holland Farms in the next few weeks in Palm Springs.
Okay.
Chronic Dispensary here in Long Beach. LA Cannabis Company here in LA. 2 big dispensaries. And we'll be in Cali Supreme Delivery Service in about the next 30 days. So, just be on the lookout. You can go to the website and find out in the IGs, and I'll be doing a lot of promo about what dispensary and where we're at.
Nice. We'll definitely be providing those links below or above. They'll be somewhere around here on there so you can stay tapped in with Chef Mac 2.0.
How's it go?
This fire, actually, which leads me to my quote of the day, which is, you can't just eat good food. You gotta talk about it too.
Well, definitely.
So I think good food leads us to good conversations, which we definitely shared today, man.
Well, definitely.
Not only that, but when you do have a chef's food and it's good, make sure you go tell a friend to tell a friend, man. That's how business spreads. In this case, I know this is off the fly right here.
Yeah,
He hit me with the curry, not the curry, but he hit me with the goat fried rice with the egg on top, man. Y'all ain't never even had this, probably. But I'm gonna tell you right now, with that sauce on top too,
yeah, it's fire.
boy.
Yeah, man, it's all about introducing people to new flavor profiles and stuff, that they don't get all the time.
Absolutely, man. So I want to thank everybody who tuned into this episode of the Hot Seat Podcast. Again, we're with Chef Mac 2.0 today. We talked about a lot of good stuff. So thanks to everybody that watched this episode. Make sure you like, share, comment, and most of all, we need them subscribers, man.
Yeah, we need
them subscribers, man. So make sure y'all subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's support Chef Mac. Make sure if you are one of those people that love experimenting with cooking and you would like to incorporate cannabis with that in the safest and most purest form, let's get some of these products, man. Because I'm telling you right now, we got a little infused goat right here, man. And I'm just relaxing, having the best episode I could. So it works. All right. With that being said, man, it's another episode of the Hot Seat Podcast with hot guests, hot topics, and actually hot food. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's a little kick coming off of that,
a little spicy
sauce, man. I'm loving this. Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks again. Love. Just like that, baby. Another episode. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All good.